And then you go to the other areas and you feel different types of energies. The island that's associated with your third eye. When you start to integrate yourself and open yourself up to those energies, then your whole being opens up. Of course, your third eye opens up, but your whole being opens up, and then you start to really feel connection and communication with the plants, with the trees. You feel that oneness and you can communicate with them.
Welcome back to the Everything's Energy Show. Today, I am not actually your host, Roland. We have a very special episode where our very own Dr. Sandra Rose Michael is interviewing Cindy Blackman Santana. They touch on a bunch of amazing content here. They talk about past experiences that they've shared together, health habits, aspects of being high performers, and how to maintain energy under the context of high performance, and much more. I really hope you enjoy this episode with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael and Cindy Blackman Santana. I have back Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, a guest you know well, and I want to welcome Cindy Blackman Santana to the show. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. How are we doing?
Yeah,
Great. Thank you.
awesome. We've both been touring a lot, and it's good to be here together. We haven't seen each other in too long, whatever it is.
Too long, because we're both so busy.
Well, you two go way back, right?
We go back a few years.
A few years, yeah. And you charge up in those EE systems whenever you get a chance, right? On tour and
Absolutely.
on the road. And
I was in there last night or yesterday.
yeah, it was good.
Yes. I was able to spend, yesterday I spent 3 hours in there.
Yeah. And then when I was in Athens when was that? That was end of September in Athens. And David Avocado Wolf was there, and he was talking about, he came for my presentation, so I had him talk too. And we ended up sharing about, somehow, I don't know how we got off on sharing about you and Carlos. And he talked about how, of course, he visits the system and charges up wherever he goes with all the different places. He loves it. But he was talking about how you get some of your produce from his noni farms on Kauai.
It just makes you feel good right away.
Yeah. Yeah, David Avocado Wolf. I've known him for decades. It was so good to hook up with him. But to find out that we share this wonderful healing connection with you and Carlos too in Kauai, and because we always talk about Hawaii stuff too,
Oh yeah.
all the aloha.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's such a healing place, as you well know. The energy is so beautiful, and as soon as you get there, you start to downshift into the vibration that's there. And then for me, when it's time to leave, I feel like I'm uprooting myself from the earth
Every single
to
time.
pull myself out, because it's such a deep connection to the earth and to the cosmos, to
Aina.
everything, to the Aina. Yeah, there's such a
the earth that loves us.
yes, and it nurtures
and
us,
shares so much love with us. That's
and
what
you
that
can
means.
feel it. You can
Yeah,
feel it.
I used to tell people the hardest thing about living in Hawaii is just what you said. The hardest thing about living in Hawaii was leaving.
It's leaving.
Every single time.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it's such a blessing though, and to have that to go, to recharge, recalculate, just rest and rejuvenate it's a gift beyond gifts. It's just so beautiful. And so we're all really, really fortunate. And, because you lived there too, so we're all just really fortunate to have that energy.
And you get homesick for Hawaii. It gets to a place where you're just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
can't wait to go home.
You want
You
that
get to go
connection.
home soon. I'm going to come. I want to come visit you too. But I'm going to be going soon. Dr. Shintani, of course, is on Oahu. I just did a webinar with him. And I'm just going, oh. And he called me yesterday. I'm so homesick for Hawaii. Homesick for the Big Island. Homesick for Kauai.
Yeah.
Because each of the islands are so different.
They are.
And they're so unique. And so.
Yeah, we're going very soon. So please come when we're there. I hope you go at any time, but if you come when we're there, that'll be even more special for us. It's and each island is different. Each little area and nook of the islands are all different. Like on Kauai, I go to, one area and it feels like the energy of little fairies, you can feel the dancing going on.
Menehune.
And the Menehune, yeah.
Well, and on Kauai, you also had where it was the first temple for hula. It's up in the northern tip.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's that dancing energy.
It has that. And then you go to the other areas and you feel different types of energies. And it's, it's the island that's associated with your third eye.
Third eye.
So it's very, when you start to really integrate yourself and open yourself up to those energies, then your whole being opens up. Of course, your third eye opens up, but your whole being opens up, and then you start to really feel connection and communication, with the plants, with the trees,
everything.
Yes, you feel that oneness and you can communicate with them.
Yeah. And it's interesting you brought that up about the third eye. That's where traditionally people would go for the visions, for dream time, but also to receive their next assignments before traveling back out again. As far as how the kahuna would use that energy.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Oahu's throat chakra, a lot of communication. Big Island's root chakra, the most active volcano in the world, creation power. They're all so different.
Yeah.
Maui, you've got all the Tantra teachers. It's the sexual chakra.
Yeah, I've been to Maui. I got married on Maui.
Oh, that worked, I guess.
That worked, yeah. Because you're marrying into a family. You're not just marrying a person. When you marry somebody, you're taking on a whole new family as well. Both of you. His side is new to me and my side new to him, but we're taking that on as our new family. So I know that people get married even if there's not that congeniality with themselves and the other and their spouse's family, but when there is, it just makes everything so much nicer and just such a much more loving and productive relationship between everybody.
Yeah, really special, the love between you.
But he said that people around him said, no, you're in a relationship with her, that's not going to work. Don't mix marriage and band together. It's going to mess up. And so some years went by, and then he finally said, Cindy, what do you think? He says, and I didn't know that anybody told him not to ask me. I didn't know. I just knew he didn't, and it was okay. But he said, what do you think? He said, because everybody told me that they didn't think it would work, since we're married now. And I said, well, I think we're both mature enough to handle it. And if we try it and it doesn't work, then we just don't do it. I didn't marry you to be in your band, if it doesn't work, we just don't do that. I play with other people, you do your thing, and we're still married. Well, we tried it, and I joined in 2016. And now this is almost 2026, so it's almost 10 years, and so the band thing is working.
Well, you play beautifully together, just magnificently.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your performances, and I know Hawaii's home, obviously. But you have a residence here in Vegas as well because you have a residency here.
It's great because after the shows, he and I go home. We're not staying in a hotel. Yeah. We go home, which is great. So we're in our own environment. We're sleeping in our own house and our own food and our own everything. And so it works out for us.
Well, and it kind of works for us because we call Vegas the ninth island, right?
Yes.
That's how we kind of make it work for us, because it's the ninth island. There's more Hawaiians here than in Hawaii, I think.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works. And part of you being home, I know you've shared with me how you do your own sprouts and, sprouting the greens. Because to keep the high energy that you run, to be able to, I just can't even imagine how many calories you even burn with one drum solo, let alone performing the way you perform for a full gig. It's just unbelievable to watch you and to see that greatness, because I mean, you do it to the nth degree of mastery. It's so good. But to be able to do that, to run that kind of energy, you know that you can't be eating anything that blocks your energy.
That's right. Absolutely right. I don't eat red meat. I have cut out sugar. I don't eat processed food at all. I don't even drink processed juices. If I drink a juice, I make it, or somebody makes it fresh right there. I don't buy juices in a store. I don't drink that. I don't eat candy or any of that stuff. I might have an occasional taste of a dessert here or there if it's an occasion, but I don't really eat that. I have been growing. We have a garden at home, and so I've been growing my own greens, which I trust a lot more than what I can find in stores, because they're spraying things on the vegetables.
Yeah.
Growing things in the vegetables. It's really scary. And recently I've had a great uptick in my greens energy, because our lovely Dr. Stella turned me on to his chef Leela.
Oh, she's the sprout master.
Well, they're not sprouts.
But
I made that mistake too. I called them sprouts, and she says, "No, I don't grow sprouts. I grow microgreens."
Microgreens. But she is the master.
She's
actually the daughter of a very good, close doctor friend of mine, Dr. Linda Lancaster.
Oh,
yeah, with Global Foundation for Integrative Medicine. And I've done stuff with Dr. Linda for a couple decades already, too. But I found out that that's actually her daughter. And we will get the microgreens from her, too. She's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the taste, the energy that you get from them, the quality, the care that she puts into them. And then she makes these divine soups that are just so incredible.
And in the summer, popsicles with the microgreens.
And the popsicles with the microgreens. Yeah, she makes all that stuff, and she makes some kombucha.
I haven't had her kombucha yet.
It's the best I've ever had. I just ordered a gallon of it because it's so good.
Okay, I'm going to have to talk to Dr. Stella, David, and Gina. Right now, I don't think they're back yet from the 100-year anniversary of the Rockettes. They're in New York.
Oh, he told me they were going.
Yeah, because Gina was a Rockette. And, of course, Dr. Stella has been a chiropractor forever. And, of course, now they have the Las Vegas Holistic Center, which is fantastically very concierge service for people with their center.
Yeah, I go there a lot. I go there all the time. I do work with Dr. Stella in person, but I also do remote healings with him, so he can work on me no matter where I'm at in the world.
Right.
So I call upon him quite a bit. We're good buddies now.
Yeah, no, he does amazing remote healing, remote clearing work.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Because, being out there on the front lines with people, sometimes you pick up hitchhiker energy, or I know I've dealt with being attacked and things.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. And then, some people look at, because the way you are and the way I am, the way Carlos is, we don't look at our position or any of the fortunate things we've been blessed with as a one-up on anybody.
No.
We look at that as a vehicle to share love and light with people. And some people don't understand that. And so they look at you with jealous eyes. And those eyes bring negativity, because that's what that is. It's a negative energy. And so, like you said, Dr. Stella can help clear those kind of energies, and, any kind of negative gunk that can be floating around and get on your spirit.
Like it's hitchhiker energy.
And
Klingons.
Yeah, Klingons. Oh, you're a Trekkie too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I knew you would. See, I always learn stuff about her. We have so much in common. Yeah. So yeah, he clears all that. And then going to his center is beautiful because he's got so many healing modalities there too. He's got a 32 unit EES there. He's got a red bed. He's got all these other different techniques to help you heal. So, and it's a very warm, inviting environment. And especially I like his new space even better than his old space.
Yeah,
The
I
new
haven't
space
been
is,
there yet.
oh, you have to go. The
But
energy,
everybody's told me they like the energy. I mean, they love it. They
yeah,
just love it.
I like it even more. And I liked the old space, but this new space, for some reason, as soon as you walk in, it just feels like you're getting a hug, like a warm hug, not just a hug that's, because somebody has it on their list. Oh, I got to give somebody. No, it's not that. Yeah, you get a warm, welcoming hug as soon as you walk in there. So it's a beautiful space, and I attribute that to that room capturing more of his and Gina's essences because that's who they are. That's what they are. They're very warm people.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I love them both.
But what a time. I know when we were in New York, we also talked about how you came onto more of your healing journey with Dr. Sebi.
Yes. Yes.
And I was just down in St. Croix and talking about, because he had a lot of following down there in St. Croix, Puerto Rico. And I was just down there. We talk about the work of Dr. Sebi.
Oh, he was amazing. I feel so blessed because I got a chance to meet him and hang out with him.
Oh.
And when I was on tour with Lenny Kravitz, and we were on the way to London to open at Wembley Arena for Aerosmith. I came down with something, bronchitis, or I don't know what I had, but I was really sick. And I'm like, I can't be this sick when we're getting ready to open for Aerosmith. No, come on, I can't be sick like this. And so we had a couple of days off in London before the show. So I found a doctor, and this doctor gave me amoxicillin, which I'm highly allergic to. I had no idea. I had never taken it before. And so I'm allergic to most antibiotics, but I'm allergic to that for sure. It's like severely. And it really wrecked my body up, really messed me up. I had to be in order to finish that tour, every 3 days I had to take different shots, antihistamine. I had to take some cortisone. It was crazy because my joints felt like they were broken. I had swelling everywhere. It was awful. And so when I got back home, my doctors put me on prednisone, and my mom was upset about it. She showed up to my house with a notebook like that thick of research that she did on prednisone, and she said, "You have to get off of this." I read that and I'm like, oh yes, I have to get off of this. My doctor wouldn't wean me off. I started to wean myself off, and the symptoms would come back. I would try a little more. Finally, I weaned myself off, and my older sister said, "You have to get with Dr. Sebi, and you have to meet him. He's in LA." And I said, "Who?" I didn't know who he was. And so I started researching him and looking him up. I'm like, wow, this man is incredible.
Yeah.
So I called his shop and actually got a hold of him. I told him I was, Lenny's drummer, and he said, "Oh, I know who you are, and yes, I'll help you." And so I flew out to LA, and I got a chance to meet him. My younger sister came with me. We met him and hung out with him and one of his daughters, and then they gave me all these things to clear what I had, and I took all these herbs and it cleared it.
It worked.
Yeah, and we stayed in touch for quite some while. Eventually we kind of fell out of touch a little bit, but we were in touch for quite some while, Dr. Sebi, and I loved him. He was amazing.
Yeah. People are, kind of being exposed to his information more because he was really big on sea moss, and that's becoming more of a superfood fad right now. So the sea moss, that whole importance of that really goes back to, he did a whole recipe book on sea moss alone.
Oh yeah. I was so impressed when I've seen him do it on film, but he showed us in person because he was telling us about sea moss. But yeah, so Dr. Sebi was telling us about CMOS, and I've seen him do this on film, but he did it for us in person. He stood up and then he pounced down on his knees. And I was like, whoa, and it didn't hurt him at all. He said, no, that doesn't even hurt. He said, my bones are so strong, they're like that. And then he started telling us the story of him, going to Mexico and meeting this Mexican shaman. And he always says, I got to thank the Mexican because he's the one who helped me, get to these herbs and figure out the healing and all that. And so, yeah, I started taking CMOS too.
Yeah. You still follow a lot of the principles from Dr. Sebi, right?
Absolutely. Diet, the hydration, certainly I do rest anyway, but, different things that I take, supplements. I still take his super greens that his family still makes.
Oh.
I still take the CMOS. I still take there's a few supplements that I still take of his. And I think there are about 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, that I still take. I still take his iron, which is organic iron. And they work, they help. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was legendary. Has what he shared and what he taught. Yeah, really respect him.
Oh yeah, and it's just a shame that the commercial medical arena shunned him the way that they did.
Yeah, they do. I just love you guys so much. I was so happy to be able to see you again.
Same here. We love you too, and appreciate you so much. Thank you for the invention that you came up with. I mean, when I read your story, your history, it was amazing. And then when I went to visit you that day and you told me your story yourself, I heard it in your own words. I was like, whoa, it's even more potent.
What a life, we just want to heal the world.
Yeah, and you're awesome. So again, thank you for that. Thank you. Because DES is really, I think it's, I'm trying to get in as many of my family and members and friends to go there. And they think I'm kind of cuckoo. You want me to do what? Just do it. You'll see.
Go take a nap. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. I go in there and go to sleep. I take my blankets, my pillow, I go to sleep.
One of my favorite things with Carlos, we were at dinner here in Vegas, actually, when Carlos started telling me about how he plays each note with such intention of the frequency to awaken people at the cellular DNA level.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Him explaining that in his words. Maybe you can explain it better than what I just did.
I think you hit it on the nail on the head. I mean, he's bringing the notes through his body, and he uses his entire body. Like, he says, oh, I see a lot of guitar players who use all these pedals. He says, I have a wah-wah pedal. He says, but I don't get my sound from a pedal. He said, I get my sound from the earth and from my body. And then he said that translates to me being able to push that energy out so that it can touch people, so that people can feel it.
Yeah.
And it touches their hearts. And that's what it does. You can definitely feel that. Like even playing with him, you can feel that. And listening to him, you can feel that because there's a certain frequency quality to the notes that he plays that just really pierces through, what we were talking about, the gunk?
Yeah.
It pierces through that. It pierces through the fog, Yeah. And it's very poignant. Yeah. And he does that with intention.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's all power of intention. Back to Wayne Dyer.
It's done with intention.
And that book came out of a session in my system, actually. The power of intention. But he plays with such focused intentionality to help people remember who they really are. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
To feel the love.
Yeah. Yeah. And it works, and I see how many people are affected. We were in Europe all summer and we hadn't been to Europe in a while. And so I think people, were pretty hungry for his energy. And so the welcome was just off the chain. The way that they received his energy was amazing. And it was like clicking a switch, pushing a button. The energy of the crowd just ignited, and it's just amazing. And that's what he does to people. That's like his forte, his specialty. And that's a beautiful specialty, because we need that. We need our heartstrings, as he calls them. We need our heartstrings plucked, when we need those vibrations sourcing through our body. We need that, because it awakens us, it enlivens us, and it helps us feel our hearts. It helps us feel, because once you can feel your own heart, then that's when you can feel somebody else. You can help somebody else. This is when you want to help somebody else, because you feel good, and so it works.
Yeah, it works. It's a phenomenon being at one of your concerts, but it also is the combined, unified intention.
Yes, unified. That's right. Combined. Yep.
Like the divine union of the two of you, such respect and awe for each other, but also that being carried by the whole band. Now they're all just cheerleading for the like cheerleading for the planet almost with the energy.
Absolutely, we are, and there's an intention. We like, again, before shows, we do a little meditation. Every show.
Yeah.
And even if not all the members come into the meditation, enough of us come in that we're pushing that and carrying that for the others, and so it spreads.
Yeah.